a self-love Valentines. This was probably the most beautiful Valentine's Day I've ever had for myself in a long time. I just want to start off by saying if you're single on Valentine's Day, it does not have to be a sad and lonely reminder of why you're unwanted or unloved, which is furthest from the truth. It can be a time of deep healing and connection and reconnection with some people that you love or haven't seen in a few years. This is the season of love and the emotions are running high. It is a very sensitive time for all of us. And so I think seeing it from that perspective, it kind of just shows you it doesn't really matter if you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're grieving right now, you're not alone. And most importantly, you are loved. Even though I did cry, because it is a reminder of how deeply I do want to be in a healthy, loving relationship, I also understand that right now is just not the time. It's a time to pour into myself, fill my cup up, and be in a really good place with myself mentally, physically, spiritually, and just prepare myself to become that partner that I need to be when the time is right. I think the best thing about being single on Valentine's Day is that you get to celebrate it however the fuck you want to. You can either make it a month-long thing, a weekend-long thing, or just celebrate it for that one day. And I think that if you are introverted and kind of shy, but you also just want to have fun, I encourage you to branch out, to reach out, even if it feels a little bit scary or awkward at first. If you end up meeting someone and they're awkward, like, you never have to talk to them again. Like, it's okay. But you might just end up having the best time of your life and making some really good friends along the way. So do it anyways. I am so fucking in love with this era of women right now, how we're all just supporting and uplifting each other and branching out and reaching out, because truly during this time, we all want the same thing, and that is to have fun. And so that's exactly what we did, starting off with Galentines Day. You already know I met up with 3 other badass women who I had never met before. We were all in this group chat of a bunch of boss ass, just powerhouse queens. This was actually the first Galentines I've ever had, and we went to this Valentine's themed party. So you already know everybody else was dressed up cute. They had like candies shaped as like little penises. It was actually really funny. And like chocolates and sushi. We ended up running into this photographer there. We ended up having this whole like mini photo shoot, and it was just so great. It was so fun. So the following day, you already know we did a self-care recovery day from the night before. And I went into this really deep cleansing mode where I went into all the spaces in my place. And I'm a big believer that your space is a reflection of your internal environment. I decided to go into every single room. I reorganized it. I gave things away for free and decluttered all this space that was just had some stagnant energy. I had just created this space where I was ready to welcome in some new things, spiritually, emotionally, with myself. And so, you know, we started off by lighting up some weed and got a little high, started painting, getting into this creative flow. And then I was like, I really want to do some sexual healing right now. And I truly do believe that dancing is a practice that you can do to heal, to let shit go and shake things off and just release it from your body. And so I started playing the song Sexual Healing by the Hot 8 brass band. And I don't know what it was just the drum or what, but I was feeling it. I was in the zone, and I like so much to the point that I started to cry. I started to cry because I truly felt like God was moving through me. And I was just like, this is a time of healing. This is a time for me to heal sexually, because, you know, Valentine's Day, it's a very sexy season. And so you can't help but to think about sex. And I was just like, I just want to be sexually healed with myself first and foremost. It was so healing. And I was naked. I was naked, and I highly do recommend doing it naked, because I think that the more naked you can be in front of yourself and just override those negative judgments of yourself and just be more accepting about what you see in that reflection of the mirror, the more you practice that, the better you're gonna feel in your body and more confident you're gonna feel in your body. So be as naked as much as you can as possible if you're in this era of trying to love yourself. So then it was time to go a little bit more deeper with the intimacy. And you already know I took out the rose petals because I'm a romantic, and I laid them across my bed. And then I pulled out the Palo Santos and I did a cleansing of that room. And as I was doing this cleansing, my intention was to just clear out any leftover residue that was just lingering in that space from the past people who were in there, who didn't actually deserve to be in there, who maybe didn't have the best intentions. And I repeated, only love exists in this space. Only good is allowed in here. This space is sacred. This space is secure. This space is safe. Only love exists. And after getting into the place where I felt the room was energetically cleansed, I laid down and I closed my eyes and I started to just softly touch my body, just like this. And I repeated to myself, I am loved. I am worthy. I'm loved. I am worthy. And as I was doing this, I was intentionally asking God to come into this moment to help me heal sexually, help me love and appreciate my body, help me let go of anything that I've maybe just been holding on, and help me to just worship my body the way that I'd want the love of my life to worship my body. After that, I decided to pray. I was praying for my sister, I was praying for my friends, I was praying for all the single mamas out there who were maybe hurting right now at this time, who maybe are feeling unworthy, who maybe are feeling unloved and lonely, and just praying for their hearts to heal, to let them know that they too are worthy of a healthy love, that they too are already so loved, and that they are deserving of that happiness and joy that comes with being loved. And just to keep their faith on with that love if they feel like they feel like giving up on it. I truly do believe that true good love does exist for you. You can't give up on it, but you've got to pour into yourself as much as possible. Fill your cup up as much as possible, especially if you're in this single era. Because when I tell you right now, when you're in this deep healing era with yourself, where you're healing all these emotional wounds, you're cleansing and removing and letting go, you really start to glow different. And you get into this really good space with yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, and people can't help but just to feel that radiate off of you. Some people are going to be turned off by it because they're not secure with themselves, and some people are going to absolutely fucking love it and support it. So all you can do is just focus on healing and feeling fucking great for yourself. After the prayer was over, I ended up doing some mirror work. I just went into this really deep appreciating mode where I was literally looking myself in the mirror and I said, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for always choosing to love on me, especially when it feels like the hardest choice you could ever make. Thank you for relentlessly removing yourself from these places and spaces that were toxic, negative, made you feel unseen, that were just not good for you and just undervaluing you, and instead walking in and opening up the doors where you are seen, where you are heard, you are appreciated, that you are deserving and worthy of being in. So don't think it's a coincidence when you start to notice yourself attracting higher vibrational people who see you, who feel you, who support you. Because when I tell you, when you're in a really good fucking place with yourself, you can't help but to attract more of the good stuff and more good things to start happening. It's not a coincidence. It's you truly staying in line, on track with your most authentic, highest expression of who you are. And yeah, that was how the weekend went. It was a very rewarding weekend for myself, emotionally, and spiritually. I felt the need to share it because I think there's a lot of people out here who could be feeling lonely at this time. And I just want you to know right now that there's still time left to make yourself feel absolutely loved and sexy and secure and healed. And if you feel like this video spoke to you at all in any way, please comment in below what spoke to you, what touched you. Share it with all of us. We would love to read it. Other than that, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video. Sending so much love and light your way.